Do you feel like AI is destroying the music industry?
Well, that's a very good question.
That's why it's so dark today.
Yeah.
And then the alert went off again, and I was just outside of the shop, and all the metal bar fences coming from the roof to the ground.
Are you asking when she's gonna retire?
Lightless Lounge.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone far beyond and in between, welcome to the Lightless Lounge with me, Nikki.
And my name is Wes.
Hi, Wes.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, what do we do here?
We are in the Lightless Lounge, our podcast completely in the dark.
Why?
Because we wanted something original.
Yes, and we do. So this is the Lightless Lounge where we interview a special guest in the dark. For us, but not for you, because you see everything with special night vision cameras and infrared lighting. So it may look like we're in a fully lit studio, but we're not.
And if I'm looking at you, it's because I'm following your voice. But I know you're here. Our guest for this week is Sharon and Adel of Within Temptation.
Yes.
I worked with her in the past, so it's a little trip down memory lane.
The other woman.
The other woman. But she's as lovely, and she has their fandom around the world is huge.
And she is Dutch, but because her following internationally is so huge,
Yes.
we wanted to do this episode in English.
Yes. So
for all our Dutch followers,
Sorry.
spijt me.
Vergeef
Vergeef
me. Kan niet
Snum,
zeggen.
snum, snum.
And for all our international followers who think, why are they singing? We don't have an idea either. But it's always chaos. If you haven't seen our podcast yet, you can watch it also on Spotify or on other platforms because, like you said, we record video.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can ask Sharon to join us.
Sharon?
Hello?
Sharon?
Lights out. Welkom in de Lightless Lounge.
Oh, wow.
Pretty dark, right?
Yeah. My God.
My God.
Welcome to the Lightless Lounge. It's an honor to have you here.
Likewise, to be here.
It's a full circle moment for me.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it.
No, but let's not
talk
talk
about
about it right away.
Yeah, let's address the elephant, honey.
We've worked together in the past.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. And I have a great ton of memories about it. And it's really cool to have you both in a room.
I call you the other woman.
Oh, the other woman. You mean the other lady?
The other lazy. Yeah, I feel like there's like eras to Wes. And you're the first era, and I feel like I'm the second era.
Yes.
And I hope the last.
Yeah, forever era.
Okay, forever.
No, but the reason, Sharon and Robert, you are my first era is because I started working in media with you guys. You've been the best. I've learned so much and we have so many great memories. But first things first,
Yes.
how are you doing?
Yeah.
How am I doing? Well, actually, pretty good. Actually, I was hoping for a relaxed year, but this year has been busier than any other year.
Oh.
So we had a lot of unexpected new things coming our way that we didn't plan.
Like
Going to the Ukraine for a video, going to work, being the ambassador of Record Store Day in the Netherlands, which we also recorded like a vinyl for. And everything takes more time than you think. But with everything that has come on our path unexpectedly, those are the gems as well, because it makes it extra special. You didn't know you were going to do this,
Right.
and then it turns out to be one of those events or things that you do that will stay with you for the rest of your life. So
Right.
yeah,
Well, I can imagine, especially if you mentioned just casually a visit to Ukraine.
Yeah.
You did that for your most recent single, I believe, A Fool's Parade.
yeah.
How was that?
It was a lot, it was a lot of emotions. It was beautiful to see how resilient the people of the Ukraine are, and how they make something bad, something positive again. Like there was like this rocket that was launched from Russia towards Kiev, and they have a very good air defense system, but the debris, the pieces coming from the rocket when it's been shot to pieces, does land on the buildings and sometimes also on people. And this time it hit a cafe. What they did was like the next day, you could see that people just took out the coffee machine onto the streets, people pulling chairs out of buildings just to continue to having their coffee near where the cafe used to be. And that's the resilience that I'm talking about. Like, we don't care what you throw at us. We'll continue doing what we do, and that's living, embracing life, and we'll fight back, and we don't care what you throw at us. And that's just a small example of many examples that I've seen in the Ukraine that is inspiring. Like, they never ask you like, what can you do for me? But they always say, well, how cool that you are here and that you are interested. And that's such a different way of approaching what they have to deal with. And I'm so inspired by how they are facing the problems that they have in this war. There's also stories of everybody that we worked with during that video, and everybody has lost somebody. And one of the girls that I was working with, she's from Music Saves Ukraine organization, and she told me she lost her brother, who was 37, who leaves behind a child and a wife, and he died at the front. And it's like, then it comes very close. All these personal stories, they make you so aware of that. Of course, we're living in the Netherlands, but it's only 2 hours flight.
Yeah, it's so
by
close.
Airplane to Kiev. Actually, I went through going to Poland and taking a night train to Kiev because it's not possible to take a commercial flight anymore to Kiev. But it's still, it's like so close, and I think a lot of people are still not aware of that.
Or they are aware of that, but you slightly forget. It's just a message in the news, and you just move on. But it's terrible, and especially if you're there, you're faced with still the ongoing things and the ongoing war, so to say.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes you immediately, when you enter the country, you have an air alert app that you have to install to your telephone.
Oh my God.
Because then you can select a region where you're going to be, and then it will inform you when there's when there's a plane coming towards you with to bomb the city or whatever, or drones, and they will specify what it is that is the danger. And this alert will go off. That the alert that we hear in the Netherlands once a month, just to check if it's still working. They hear that every night.
Oh my God!
Really? Did you experience situations like that, or was it more of people, their daily lives there?
No, I experienced myself as well. During the video shoot, we were working on a scene with fans who actually came to the studio. The alert went off, and everybody was looking at their phone because everybody has the same alert, of course. And it goes, and woo, goes off, and you're like, okay,
what we're doing now.
What are we going to do now? And of course, I was surrounded with people who know how big of the danger is, and they said, well, there's drones nearby, but we're not near glass, so we're fine, don't worry about it. And also, when we were having a city trip, it was more like they were showing us around certain things in Kiev. I wanted to buy an umbrella because it was raining really heavy, and so we went underneath the metro station where there are some shops. And then the alert went off again, and I was just outside of the shop, and all it's like metal.
Like the metal bars.
Yeah, metal bar fences coming from the roof to the ground, and they immediately shut every shop. And so we said, okay, we were with someone, and they said, well, we're going to stay here because there's a MiG on the way, and this MiG can have this hypersonic bomb with it, and it can completely evaporate, destroy a whole complete area, and like a certain building block or something, because that's how heavy the bomb is. And just to be sure that's not that kind of bomb, we're going to stay here for a little while, and then we go up again when it's safe. Then we waited until the alarm went off again, saying like, okay, the air alert's over. And it was actually quite soon after that we heard the first alert that there was something in the area.
Were you scared?
No, I've never been scared. No, because
you do get political with your music and your music videos. Why is that?
I think because more than ever, I thought that we never have something like a Second World War again. And I think we're closer to a Third World War if we're not already in it. Depends on who you ask, of course. And because warfare has changed so much throughout time, the democracy that we have, that we embrace so much and that we value so much, but sometimes take for granted also in our country and in the West where we are living. It's worth fighting for and to speak up for. And I think I would hope that nobody should do anything, but I think, but I would appreciate it if more people would do so. I think if people would more realize what a great, what we have actually, how precious it is, and how easily we can lose it if we lose another country to Russia. I hope they will really support, Europe will support the Ukraine in every way possible to fight this aggressor.
Yeah.
One thing that we speak about it, or that we think of, hey, we don't want a war. I feel like a lot of people don't want that, but it's a different thing to put your artistry to it and make you also vulnerable, because you're an artist. You
true.
have Russian fans, you have Ukrainian fans, but you have fans around the world. Why is it so important to incorporate those messages in your artistry?
It doesn't matter where it happens, but sometimes certain things just inspire you a little bit more. And because there's more things happening in the world, of course, you have Gaza and Israel, you have,
so many conflicts.
Yeah, so many conflicts. There's so many to mention, and so many minorities who are being attacked in different countries. And so, but sometimes something happens and you just feel a certain emotion that you write about it also musically. And if you have that combination, it's easier to talk about it in interviews and to draw attention for it, because you feel that you might
make a change.
Yeah, maybe in a small way, because I don't think that everybody, if it's just a few people, it's just a few people that you could have changed their minds or made aware of the situation. And it maybe help, you never know. The butterfly effect, that's what I'm hoping for.
And do you ever get like heat for it? Do you ever get like a confrontation about it?
Yes, we do. We played in some countries close to Russia where we played, and also took, sometimes I take a flag on stage, the Ukrainian flag, and I ask people a very simple question. And it's like, if your country would be attacked, would you defend it? And then everybody goes, yeah, of course. Yeah. And they said, but that's the only thing that Ukraine is doing.
Yeah.
You have a lot of conflict in different countries where it's more difficult to see, or to start, where in history do we take a stand, from what point are we going to look at a certain situation.
Yeah.
But in this situation, it's more than ever clear who is the aggressor and who is being attacked.
But in the past, you performed in Russia.
Yeah, we did.
Would you still be able to go there and perform, or would you even go there now?
No. I don't think it's safe.
After all these statements, I don't think either.
I think I'm going to be dragged off the stage with my flag.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, but to be honest, I do feel sorry, because we met a lot of beautiful people in Russia as well. And we had a lot of great times there as well. I think we even have more, people know us even more in Russia than they do in the Ukraine. But my heart goes to Ukraine because,
Yeah. But also maybe to the Russian people who don't want to fight, but it's not their choice, and you cannot see them now at the moment.
No, that's true. But I do think that change can only come from a country itself. It needs to come from people themselves to want this change. Otherwise, it doesn't have, to my opinion, any chance of changing in the future. And that's what you see also differently in the Ukraine, is they're fighting for their freedom. Everybody is doing something, and that's something different than some other countries I've seen.
Blackout baggage.
And it's an item that we ask of you to bring that we haven't seen yet, and we're gonna
hear you sliding.
We're gonna talk about it. And first, I'm gonna ask you to give it to Nikkie first.
Let me know when you're reaching out, because there has been
reaching
instances.
out in the dark. It's really big. Where are you?
Oh wait, here's my nails.
Wow, there's a microphone in the way. Wait. Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't reach my arm.
Oh, here's a hand. Oh, am I holding it?
Yes.
This is it?
This is it.
Oh, it's tiny. Oh, this is the necklace, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, I'm good at this.
But what is hanging on the necklace?
Okay, I'm feeling. Oh, it's got pointy. Okay, so it's rounded or like oval with pointies.
Yes, yeah, something pointies.
Okay, Wes.
Yeah,
I'm coming.
Here we go. Yeah.
Hello. Oh, there you are. Well, you worked with her, so you have to know this.
I know you've always made great jewelry, but this is
Oh, this is something from the past, something personal.
You should know this.
Not,
You might know this.
You have to know this.
if I would take a guess, it would feel like
There's
either
a
like an
picture. Like there's a picture?
or like an anchor or something with rope around it, or like a heart with a dagger
No,
or something.
it's an animal.
An
Oh,
animal?
Yes.
Is it a dragon?
No, I
Oh.
love dragons though, but no.
I'm showing it on camera.
What is an animal
no
with pointy
clue.
ends?
A
Is it a
turtle?
bat?
It's a turtle.
A turtle?
Oh,
A bat? Could be a bat.
so far off.
Oh, it's a turtle. Yeah. Let me show you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, my dad used to leave us a lot to go abroad, and I gave him a wooden turtle, and that's where the history starts. We were living in Indonesia, and I had this wooden turtle, blue with black and beautiful paintings on it, because that's what Indonesian people a lot of times do. They make from wood and they color it with all kinds of paints, and it looks beautiful. I gave it to him, and he took it with every trip he went.
Oh.
And so that became a thing for us later on, because when I was in Spain many years later, I came across this necklace, and it was like a carcass of a turtle, but it was complete silver. It was really heavy. It was really beautiful. I gave that to him, and I gave my mom another turtle, also from silver, like to remind them, like, okay, wherever you go, take it with you. It's like it's like when you go, you take the turtle with you.
Yeah. Oh. And your father is not with us anymore?
No, he's not with us anymore, but I gave that necklace to him, and then he lost it in the hospital, like I think a year before he died. And I was in Russia when I came across this turtle again. It's probably the ugliest one I could find, but still it was very similar to the size. And in the meantime, I'm going to look for a nicer one, but then you still have a turtle with you on your neck. But I never got the chance to buy a new one because he never made that. But I'm wearing this on special occasions. So when I got married, I married on his day of birth. And I wore this underneath my wedding dress because it's not really beautiful to see, but he was close to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, like passing on, like, okay, the turtle goes with me on this next page. And so that's why I brought it today. And also when I go away, I always, I don't know, I'm just maybe a bit spiritual. I just touch the turtle always a bit.
Yeah.
And
You touch the ugly turtle.
the ugly turtle, and I tell him where I'm going, and I'll be back soon. And
And it sounds like you had a very nice childhood when I hear this.
I did. It was warm. It was loving. It was, I think my parents were didn't know really. It was not like you have a book how to raise your kids.
No.
But and a lot of things didn't go that well. But I think they did it with love, and I think that's the most important thing, that you're there and you're loving and you're caring, and that's what my parents did.
How did they handle your fame, your success? How was that for them?
It was strange because my parents have always been, like extreme music lovers, and to see their little girl growing up doing something that they would never expect, because they always told me very, very Rotterdam, like doe maar normaal en dan doe je gek genoeg. Just act normal, then you're crazy enough.
Right. Welcome to the Netherlands.
Yes.
Welcome to the Netherlands.
Yes.
And they meant well. They just didn't want me to get disappointed, because the music industry is, of course, a very
Tough business.
Tough business, like fashion is, which I was into also for a certain while. So I always chose the more difficult branches of industry, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were very proud of me because they knew that this is what I always wanted since I was a very, very young girl. I said, I just want to sing. I just want to make music. And my parents said, well, I don't know how to achieve that, but we can bring you to music school if you want to. And it's like, music school is not what I wanted, because then I had to play the flutes, and I was angry about it. Because
Not the flute.
Not the flute.
No,
Lizzo.
the boring flute and read notes. I just want to sing. How difficult can it be? So I was self-taught eventually.
But you always knew that you wanted to sing. That was your core feeling. I wanted to sing.
Yeah, exactly. My compass. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt like this is me. This is what I want, and I think I can be really good at it, because when I sing, people shut up and I start listening.
Same. For other reasons. Same. And you started in school, right?
Yeah, very young age. I always was in school bands and trying to find people that were like, that had the same passion as I had.
And then you met Robert.
And then I met Robert, in college.
Yeah.
And I started up with some friends a school band next to another band that I already had. And he came halfway during the second year. He came to our school and he joined up because he thought, hey, that's a nice girl.
Yeah.
He just turned up everywhere where I was because I had like this party commission that I was into. Like I was organizing parties in school with some friends as well. And he was there as well. It's like this annoying guy that always, tries to get on my nerves.
Sounds like Robert.
But I fell for him like no one else.
But back then you were always organizing. Were you always like up and about, or were you always more like shy and on the background?
No, I think I'm a more of an introvert. But when I'm amongst friends, I can be more of an extrovert, strangely enough.
Yeah.
Then the real me comes out, but it's more like in the background I'm observing and I'm looking at people, like how do they react to certain topics and then when I get to know them, it's like, bleh,
Yeah, me. That's me.
Yeah, really? Oh.
Yes.
I know why he chose me now.
That's a little side eye, but from you, I mentioned it before. I said you guys.
No, he
look-
said it last night. He
Yes.
said, "Oh, the two of you are so similar."
You're
I
so
said,
similar,
"Why?"
yeah.
I said, "Why?" He goes, "Oh, both of you are so introvert."
Yeah, and then she's like,
And I
no.
go, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
I'm
But
an
it's like-
extrovert.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, there's this divine combination between
Yeah.
you guys. Like, you're like you just described. You're like extrovert when you're on stage.
Yeah, where you're on.
You're
on.
an extrovert when you're with friends.
Yeah.
But you're an introvert in social situations with
Yeah.
new people.
Yeah.
And that's always because, especially when you work in media and perform like you guys do, you go off, you get on stage, you go off stage, and then you have like fan encounters.
I
and-
wouldn't put myself next to
No,
Sean's
no.
level.
So no,
I
sorry.
mean,
no, but you do like TV hosting or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like in media, and then you
You're a
meet
different
people.
person, yeah, of course,
off camera,
yeah.
so to say.
Yeah.
People
Right.
expect you to be
The
that
same.
outgoing
Yeah.
extrovert person, so to
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
But I always get, well, you're so normal. Yeah, I'm sorry.
but that's like the first thing I noticed when you came in this morning. I was like, she's a superstar, but like,
Yeah.
she
So
could be my
down to earth.
neighbor.
No, but it's
Well,
it's
for
the
me,
same,
that's a
Nikki. You're also
compliment.
superstar. Yeah, you're also superstar. But you're also
Yeah, but they would
very-
never see me as a neighbor.
No.
No.
Extra neighbor.
Extrovert neighbor? What?
Extrovert neighbor, yeah.
But it is funny because the contrast sometimes is so big. I used to, whenever we got to work together, we used to hang backstage, and it was always fun. And you have a loyal and dedicated people, of
Yeah.
a group of people around you.
Yeah.
It was never rock star behavior. And then whenever you walk on stage, and it's the best feeling ever, and I still love it.
He talks about this all
It's so
the
moment
time.
you guys start playing, there is this like
Switch.
wave, but also this wave of sound that goes over you, and there's this switch
The
in your
crowd.
personality, and then you're like, "Whoa, who are these people? There's not the people that I just
spoke to."
just sat backstage with." So I
Yeah.
feel that contrast is obviously still there. And,
Yeah, it's very much there. And the thing is that people say, but is it then an act? No, it's just
Yeah, no. Yeah.
it's just a different version of me that
It's your stage, you.
yeah, it's a stage you, but it's like being on even a magnifying glass, It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
an extreme version of me, but it is me. I don't pretend to be different. I don't fake my emotions.
No.
I just try to be as close to my emotions when I wrote the song. And when I
Yeah.
feel the frustration of certain topics, I try to express it. I don't try to filter it or anything. I
No.
don't hold anything back. It's just giving me like bleh, on
Yeah.
the stage.
I will never forget. I of course hosted Eurovision, and Wes and I. Of course, I'm not a singer. Never will be. But
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. There's hope somewhere. No, there's no hope.
And it's gone.
So when we did Eurovision, I remember the first time we did it with the crowd, and this was like fresh, well, kind of still in
Pandemic.
the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we had the 3,000 and somewhat people in the venue.
Yeah.
I was a fan favorite. So when I walked on, the crowd went wild, which was thank you so
wow,
much.
cool.
And the look on Wes's face, I was like, oh, this is what he wanted.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wanted a crowd.
No, yeah.
It took you back to
Yeah.
those days.
I remember you going on stage and I said to Nikki, live crowd is something different. You're going to experience
Yeah.
something that you haven't experienced before. You've done meet and greets, you've done TV shows.
Yeah.
But like walking into an arena does something different. And
Yeah.
I cannot explain it to you because I just witness it from the side. But even witnessing from the side and hearing from you guys how it is, it's a totally different experience.
It's crazy.
And I love that. And then you come and you got off stage and the first thing is you're like, what is this? I want this every night.
I was like, this is a drug. Give it to
Yes.
me.
Yeah, it is a drug in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a way it is. It is because it's the only job you get applaud for almost.
Yeah,
it's-
but it's also not to get too spiritual, but it also has to do with energy. I feel like if when you're on the stage and you get the applause, it's not only the applause, but it's literally like people aligning on an emotion of, oh, we're all gonna shout, or we're all gonna scream, or we're all gonna enjoy this song, or listen to
Headbang.
what you say, or headbang,
Or
et
headbang
cetera.
indeed.
Yeah.
yeah.
Are there I want to know, are there countries where the crowd is just
Oh yeah.
Standing.
difficult, stiff?
Well, I think there is definitely a crowd like that, but it doesn't mean that they don't enjoy themselves. That's something that I had to learn
Right?
because I was like in shock sometimes, like,
Yeah, because you start doubting yourself.
yeah, and you start emphasizing, come on, move, and you can get a bit irritated also because you want to have that connection. And a lot of times when you give a lot of energy, you hope to get a lot of energy back.
Right.
And sometimes it's not there, but it's more like they're introverts. And
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there's certain countries that
I heard
it's
about
actually
Japan or
respectful
something.
when
Yeah.
they are still and they don't clap or
Yeah.
Enjoying the show in a different way than we do.
yeah, and you have to and when you know that, because the second time I came there, it's like, okay, now they're not gonna be very extrovert,
Yeah.
and they're not
Loud.
gonna clap, and they're not gonna dance, and they're gonna headbang that heavily, maybe the first 3 rows, but the rest is just gonna listen, and that's okay. You have to accept that, and you go with a different mindset to that stage, and
Yeah.
that's okay too. It's
so what
fine.
are some countries that are your favorite when it comes to crowds?
Well, I love it when they do interact because
Yeah.
that gives me energy to give even more. So, to give-
Right.
Is it, for instance, Latin America? I feel like you're
Yeah.
gonna do
Oh, you're
tour
huge
soon.
there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going there, and people are more expressive. It's
Mm.
like, and also when you go to the Mediterranean, in Europe, it's the countries, it's also more expressive.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, Spain, Italy,
I've
it's
been
it's
to
like,
Madrid. Oh.
Oh, they are?
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So you would say that Latin America, Spain are like in the favorite list.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, for me, it's more easy to play there than when people
Now,
are more
where
reserved. And
does the Netherlands rank up?
well, it's that depends a little bit because it can be really. Sometimes you need to warm up people
Yeah.
because people coming from the work and they have to get into a certain vibe. So I understand it, but most of it, at the end of the time, everybody's doing what you want them to do. So I'm really happy to play in the Netherlands.
But it's also depending on the crowd because I feel like
Yeah.
you've done Vrienden van Amstel live, which
Yeah.
has probably
You've done that?
Yeah, we did a few times. I think
Yeah.
4 or 5 times. Yeah.
that was my first time walking with the band.
was there?
in Ahoy. Yeah. And I worked with the band. I was doing an internship, and I was working with them for 3 months, and then they were doing Vrienden van Amstel live. So then we went there and did the whole session, and I found out how much of fun of a gig that is.
What was
With all
West
the,
like?
No.
Very
go there.
young.
What was he like?
Very green, but very so cute. puppy.
Was he willing to like go the extra mile?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. Yeah, he's always been like that.
You know me, Nikki.
Eager.
I know
Yeah.
you so well.
And I was one of the first people to get them to tour vlog. So I was a YouTuber and I was living my YouTube fantasy because we started back in Hives.
There were
Hives for the-
signs all along.
Oh,
Exactly. And then we
Well,
went to
actually,
Facebook and
this
then-
setup that we have here, we did it also with Wesley,
Yeah.
but then in the light, of course, but
yeah.
also in, I don't know, where was it actually? It was in Utrecht or
Yeah,
something?
I feel like it's a studio. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a small studio, and that was already
Yeah.
set up for every time, and we had like a weekly
newscast.
A newscast. It was really nice to do that. Actually, it was really something new at that time.
He loves new things.
Yeah, but also
the
you guys,
vision.
you and Robert, you also love new things because you're
Yeah, we
always
do.
tech savvy, and you perform with holograms, and you do lightings, and you do so many things, and you were always open to that. So I feel like when you come from a world of social media, and now I'm gonna feel old, but back in the day, it wasn't that accepted. We
No,
actually,
totally, yeah.
it was us against the record label, and
Right.
not against, but the record label wasn't that far ahead, and we had to convince them,
Yeah.
hey, maybe we should put some more effort in putting messages on Facebook. Facebook. Yeah,
What's a Facebook?
yeah, what's a Facebook? And that was the state that we started working in. So I
Yeah,
feel like
totally.
that.
Yeah.
But you're always tech forward. Why is it so important for you to try out new things?
Well, we don't want to be outdated, and you want to be ahead of your time. You want to be, well, I don't know. It's just something fun to focus on. It's not ahead of your time, but maybe just to be involved with something new, inspiring, and it can lead to new things again, new ideas, and new possibilities also. And that's something we always embraced. And well, you were always about the internet, like social media, and this.
Yeah.
You were so far ahead, and we were learning a lot from you, especially in those days. It was like, wow, didn't know this existed, and you came up. Yeah, did you hear about this? We can try this. And
Yeah.
You're so cute.
I'm so cute. I'm such a nerd. I'm still on.
Yeah, you are.
Enough about me. While we're on the topic,
Yes.
A dark debate.
So in a dark debate, we kind of discussed like a hot topic that will get the tongues twisted and all. And we were wondering, do you feel like AI is destroying the music industry?
well, that's a very good question.
And that's why it's a dark debate.
yes.
Well, we've worked with AI, not in music itself, but we did with the videos. I think AI was not meant to be, it was like an amazing idea to help us to support things that you want to do better, faster. But there's always, you know, the dark minds of this world, I think, that want to use it in a bad way, like the deep fake kind of stuff. With AI, I want to say this first because we had a lot of backlash using AI for our videos.
Oh,
But it
really?
was, yeah,
Really?
we did. Yeah, a lot of people
Why?
hated it because people think, and then also in the Netherlands, like a lot of people think it will take over their jobs, you know, jobs in general, but not their job. I think we should see AI like the new industrial time.
Yeah.
Like when the machines were coming, it took over a lot of jobs, but it made it easier eventually, and people got different jobs.
Yeah, created new jobs. Yeah.
And created new jobs
Exactly.
again. And that's how I see AI. But I do see the danger of it as well with the deep fake kind of things.
Yeah, but what about when it comes to
Music. What I love most is when early in the morning when I start writing with someone, there's nothing at the end of the day. There's something, and of course, it can help you in certain ways, of course. But it's, for me, the magic is that it came out of nowhere, out of myself, and out of the person that I'm working with. But you know, sometimes Robert also writes music with, you know, and he doesn't sing like me, so, and he has trouble, you know, using my kind of tonality and what is within my range.
Yeah.
But also with AI, you can test it. So when he comes up with ideas nowadays,
Yeah.
he puts his vocals in AI in the same range that I am.
And it makes you?
And it doesn't sound like me, but it's more
But
like,
if your range, yeah.
but within my range, so that we can test. He can test immediately what he's singing is actually going to work for me.
Yeah, it's
So
very
those-
practical.
So
yeah.
a very practical way. So we are not cheating, like in any way, but because I would love to say that, of course.
Yeah.
But it's more like using it in a tool to make it easier for yourself.
And I feel like it's
Exactly.
also good because it's the same thing that you're going to be mad at people using a calculator to do the math. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, you have to do it yourself. No, I can just also use this tool to help me out in
to
my
help,
work.
and makes
then,
it go easier
Yeah,
on you. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Some people survive using a calculator.
Yeah, but I must say, that, you know, and people use a lot of arguments like, okay, but what if we would use AI to write music and you use your voice, which is actually possible.
How would you feel about that?
Well, you know, I think as long as they don't pretend to be me.
Oh yeah. Just like a remix, like a DJ can do a remix, but
Yeah,
he
and
can
they-
like say it's my remix.
You know, would I listen to Metallica with written by somebody else who did like with AI a kind of song?
Yeah. Good question. Would you?
I would check it out.
Yeah.
But then I think I have a certain feeling with the band.
Right.
Oh yeah.
There's no like warmth.
There's no warmth in there, you know. And I think they will bring new things to that voice of probably because they're different people. I bring my own voice, with my own emotion, with a certain idea, the topics that I choose.
Yeah.
And that makes me me. It's not just the voice. It's certain things, of course, the sounds that we choose, the way we want to evolve ourselves in musically. And I think that makes me, and that makes Metallica, and that makes Iron Maiden, and any other singer out there. And I think that will be the difference,
Yeah.
But
no
I don't want them to
computer,
tell them it's me, because
Yeah.
I'll get the rights for it as well.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna collect,
Hoppa. As soon as they have a number one hit, you'll be like, "Hi, here I am."
Here I am.
Yeah.
I'll give
And
you back
have
my
every
voice.
right. No, but it's
just
challenging,
joking,
man.
but it's more like, I'm not that worried yet about that. So I think, we'll see where it ends, and I'm not worried about it. And I think hopefully it will be different.
It's I always try to answer that question with Adele in my mind. I feel like I love Adele songs, especially because it comes from a place where she wrote it, or she experienced it, or she has a story behind it. But on the other hand, it's always been the music industry that she can maybe write it with somebody else, or that she's borrowed a song, Make You Feel My Love is a cover, and I still love it, So it's always tricky in my
What? Make
head.
You Feel My Love is a cover?
Yeah, it's Make You Feel My Love is a cover from, might be Bob Dylan, but don't quote me on that. But it's, then I'm conflicted, because I love the way she's singing it. It feels like an Adele song, but she hasn't wrote it herself. Yeah, where's the, it's a gray area, especially with AI also,
Yeah,
It's,
but I must say that if Adele sings it and that you like it, I didn't even know it was a cover actually.
Yeah.
So and I love the song too.
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't matter. For me, the most important thing is emotion.
Yeah.
And I think,
The person who performs it or writes it.
and the story behind it. Those two things are the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in life, we've spoken about it already, is Eurovision. You know where I'm going with this. You are one of the biggest bands from the Netherlands, if not the biggest internationally. And every year I hear rumors. They're like, Within Temptation, they're
Begging people like
they're doing Eurovision. Would you ever do it? It's time to celebrate the sponsor of this week's episode again, House Labs by Lady Gaga.
Yes, you are a makeup expert.
Am I?
Why do you love this brand?
Oh, I love it because it's vegan and science forward.
I also love how inclusive they are, and they combine skincare with colored cosmetics.
Yes, for example, born as a skincare serum stick, their color-fused glassy blush balm stick delivers high-performance color, while goji berry complex makes skin look more plump, and fermented arnica visibly reduces redness and irritation. Honey, I'm sold.
Wow, that sounds like a mouthful, but very good.
So with that, you have a serum-based, high-pigment, buildable blush available in 8 shades. They're gorgeous. You should try it.
I'll put them on my to-buy list.
I have them here for you.
Thank you. If you, however, want to try out House Labs with Lady Gaga yourself, we do a crazy giveaway worth over $1,500 of products via our Instagram.
So go to our social media page, and the reels at the top of the page will tell you all the information on what to do.
Bye, Nikki.
Where are you going?
I'm off to Instagram because I want to win.
Oh, I'm already giving you them.
Double.
Well, the thing is, I actually enjoy Eurovision. I'm watching it a lot of times when I've been to Sweden. It's a big thing in Sweden, but
Everything for the butt doesn't count.
Nowadays, I think there's a lot of amazing artists who need this so much more.
As a stage.
As a stage to get known to the rest of the world. And, Duncan Lawrence did an amazing job. And I think Anouk did an amazing job by doing it. And Estine, I love her voice also. And what she did was also incredible. I think we as a band, we are established in a lot of countries and people know us and they might vote for us.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yes, I know.
You're saying it like it's a negative.
Yeah, let's go.
No, although I would love to do this, there's a reason for me not to do it because I think, and I'm really, really being honest now. It's like we say in the Netherlands, we have like, how many people now living here? Like
18 million.
18 million. And they're all coaches and everybody has an opinion about you. And I'm fine with that. But the thing is, it took us a long time to reach out to all these people in the world and that people, you know, knew who we
you
were.
built something.
We built something.
Yeah.
And next to the fact that they normally don't play us, but then to represent a country that doesn't represent us. It doesn't feel like a mutual love, you know?
Yeah.
So it feels
Very
like I'm giving
valid.
too much of myself and going across my boundaries.
So you could compete for Sweden or any other.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. Okay, so to summarize,
That's a big fat no, honey.
Yeah.
Within Temptation will never perform at Eurovision.
We
No.
tried.
No.
We tried.
No, exactly. And but you
But
know,
it's good to have that answer also.
Yeah.
I think it clarifies things.
Stops the rumors.
It stops the rumors.
Maybe my Indigo will, but not Within Temptation.
Oh yeah. Because
But then
my
I'll call you, Wesley.
Yes, but my Indigo is your, you would say not a solo project, but a project you have on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
How has that developed for you, and where are you at with that?
Well, that's something that I would like to pick up again, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lack of time because we, like I said, we're busier than ever with Within Temptation, doing all these side projects and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's something on my agenda, high on my agenda, that I do want to pick up. But it's simply not having the time for it yet.
But you cannot, because we are Eurovision addicts, you cannot leave us hanging with one answer.
Cliffhanger.
Because okay, so Within Temptation is no,
She
but
closed
there
one
is
door and she put one door
one
Yeah,
slightly
yeah,
open. My
slightly
Indigo
open,
is
yeah.
there's an opening with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you would participate in Eurovision maybe with your My Indigo project.
Yeah, I might do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I might. I just might.
Might.
And
Okay, got it. Okay, noted. Okay. I feel like every episode we talk about Eurovision.
Yeah,
but
we literally do.
Twilight Delights.
another segment that we have is a Twilight Delight. And that is something, Sharon, that you do before you go to bed.
It's like a guilty pleasure.
Like a guilty pleasure. Where can we find you before you go? And what's your Twilight Delight?
Yeah.
oh my God, where do I start?
Oh.
You have a whole ritual?
Yeah, God, no, not a ritual. Unfortunately, no, it's very spontaneous every time. It's like it can be, God, you know, I've got my guilty pleasure. It could be the wine. It could be,
Red wine, right?
Yeah, white wine nowadays more.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yes, I'm more
Okay.
into white wine actually,
Yeah, okay,
white or
okay.
rosé,
Yeah.
with some chips, and then watching my favorite program.
Oh, which is?
Well, I've got several, but one of the programs is like I'm leaving for.
Ik vertrek.
Ik vertrek.
Yeah, ik vertrek. Oh yeah. So like couples going abroad and building
Yeah.
their house. Abroad.
Oh.
But especially I got a new one now, and it's a house full. I think it's called.
Yeah.
With
Big
really
families.
big families that I've actually got a big family myself. I got 3 kids, and that I think is already
A big family.
a big family. But then they have like 9 or something. And it's
Oh
like,
my God.
I'm like how many? And it's like, you know, it's like how many can you cope? And then this lady says, you know, there might be a place for one more. It's like, how did you do it? And I'm just.
Do you get
I'm here-
inspired then? Are you like, I would have wanted more? Or
No.
3 is enough?
No, 3 is enough, and I love them to death. And I love kids in general, but it's like, you know,
They're hitting puberty now, right? Or
yeah,
not? Yeah.
they all do. Eventually,
You hear that? You hear a lot of emotions in the do.
yeah, but it's more like I'm on the, you know, eating popcorn almost, like, you know, that image for me on the sofa with my glass of wine.
Yeah.
Did you see that? They're all in this truck together.
Lovely.
How do they manage? They all have to bring them to school. How do they do it?
That chaos is thriving.
Yeah.
And then that's your guilt. And then until what time are you on average you stay up before you have
Well,
Saturday
Robert
morning?
always wants to go to bed quite early because he's like an early bird, and I'm like a
A night owl?
night owl. Yeah, and I love to. I so refer to myself to a butterfly, night butterfly.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I thrive. I always think that I'm at my best creatively at night.
Oh, yes.
Robert says that's such BS.
No. Sharon, I'm there with you. No. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're contra in that. How we
Yes.
see that. So I'm always like, yeah, I've got this really great idea for lyrics.
He's like,
and
tell me tomorrow.
yeah, tell me tomorrow. I'm off to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm being cranky that I'm coming with him. So like, no, I have to write this down. I've had this magical moment now. Like, and then I'm up until 2 and then I crawl into bed and he's like, oh, you're done with your...
Yeah.
So, yes, honey.
I'm Team Night Owl. You were too, right, Nikki? So please,
Yeah, I am.
please
Yeah.
don't ever change that. It's only hard when you have kids because then you have to go to school.
Yeah, and
in
the dog.
morning.
We have a dog now as well.
Yeah.
Labrador. And he's like at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
And downstairs on the stairs, like trying to get me out of bed. Like, I want to go out. I want to go out. I want to go out, play.
What's his name?
It's Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie. And we got a cat as well, Murphy. Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
there any special meanings by the names or just like fun names?
No, just, well, we had a debate on, like how to call the cat. And it was really, after 5 weeks, we still didn't have a name.
5 weeks?
Yes, we had a fight about it. And we had to pull straws and stuff like that. And eventually it became Murphy. And everybody's like, yeah, it's going to be Murphy, okay?
Who picked it?
I'm not sure actually who picked Murphy. I think one of the kids did. And Charlie was like one of the names that I wanted to have for the cat. And then Robert said, we're not going to debate on this. It's going to be Charlie. It's my dog. So shut up, everybody. It's Charlie.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's like, yes, Charlie is in the family name now.
How was it? Because my first time, or one of my first memories working with you guys is that you got pregnant and there was a world tour scheduled. And so I walked in this office and one of the directors back then said, Wes, and then back then, it was Hi's, Facebook, some messages, but it was starting to become a communication tool. So everything communicating, I was slightly getting involved because, we have to get this message out there via our own channels. And that was my first memory, like closing the door, like, okay, Wes, there is this world tour planned. And we got a message that Sharon is pregnant, which is human, and it's all nice and lucky for
Which is
her.
human.
But we have to
Human,
reschedule that. And I was like, and for me back then it felt like, holy moly, like the whole world was stopping. Like, how can you reschedule, not knowing that you obviously work with professionals and it's reschedule and they have great solutions for that. But back then it felt like such a big moment. I was like, oh my God.
Well, we were in big stress as well. It's like,
yeah,
it was not planned. Like, how
No.
can you have 2 kids? How did you not plan? Well, this was like something that happened. I don't know when.
yeah. But how was it for you guys combining kids with touring the world?
Well, the first one we took with us, which was a big disaster, because it's like people think that when you have your kid with you, you're gonna be at ease because it's with you, and
Oh,
like,
no.
you'll be relaxed because it won't be in any danger or anything. But then every second that you're off stage, you have to spend with your kid, which is a natural feeling, of course. And
then you come off stage of the high of like performing and like full
then-
energy, and then you're like, oh, now I'm mom again.
well, which I love, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you need to also unload the energy and you have to be like relaxed. And of course, at that time she was sleeping, of course, but then she wakes up at the middle of the night in a bus with all these other people. We had a nanny with us, but she wants your attention, of course. And she wants to be like, okay, mommy, I want to play now. And she was like, I think 1.5 years old. And it resulted in that it was too much stress eventually.
It was not a good solution for you.
No,
guys.
and what we did after that is like, okay, we have to find a way to have both in our life, like the family life and the touring life. And that's when Robert also decided, I'm not going to tour anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
I'm going to
Stefan
stay at home. Yeah, exactly. Because it broke us apart, because it takes so much effort
And time,
and there's a lot of tension also, because things have to be done and it has to be done now. It has to be done perfectly in certain ways, and efficiently.
Yeah.
And with a family next to it, a young family, it's very difficult. We also had like, Robert and I also were separated for a certain time because this whole new development, we had our first kid and touring and being together like 24/7.
Yeah.
And it was too much. And we didn't see each other anymore like husband and wife, but more like, okay, we have
business
and brother and sister. It became like,
yeah.
it was too much. And then, okay, we came back together luckily, and 2 more children followed. Of course, that's the history.
Yeah.
But the way was also that he had to leave the band because of the fact we had to keep it separately for our own relationship, but also for the kids. It was nice to have somebody at home that you completely know is going to
Rely on.
Yeah, can rely on and knows what you want to have, like upbringing and stuff like that. You know, who's on the same page or how you want to go about it with your family life. And for us, it was the best solution. So we got a new guitar player in.
That was my biggest other thing then.
Yeah.
Because I was
You
in the
had
same
a
office.
good internship.
Yes, at the same office, Facebook grew back then, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna replace, or not replace, but we're gonna switch up Robert not touring anymore, and he was like the lead guitarist, etc. And we're gonna have a new person coming in. Okay, for me, okay, how are we gonna do that?
Yeah,
but it was
exactly.
all fun and games, and it all worked out. But it's
I must say that the whole pregnancy and all this changing of band members, it was intense at the time. Yeah, but we found our way in it, but it was like a lot of people after that I spoke later was like, oh, I'm gonna join my wife being on tour. It's like, don't do that. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And they end up with the same conclusion eventually still.
How was it when it comes to Rivalry? Because you are a female fronted band, and I know in the music industry they want to portray it as it's this band versus this band. How did you feel back in the day versus now when it comes to Rivalry in female fronted bands?
I think a lot of things have changed for me personally, meaning how I feel how the energy is now between bands, especially because we get compared a lot to bands that are female fronted.
Yeah.
Meaning literally female fronted, because it can be completely different music, to my opinion.
Like Cresip, and then it's female fronted, and then they're probably also a band.
You know, but more in the line of music that we are into. It's like bands that are very sounding alike. Like in the days, you know, a band called Him from Finland with a male singer could have been compared to us if he would have been a girl, but he's a man, so we wouldn't compare it. But Nightwish was, because they had a girl singer, have a girl singer, I mean. And so it was like, it was really strange how they compared bands, not being on the type of music, but mainly if it was a, you know,
female
male
fronted band. But what was it like for you to be then that female in that man environment? Did you feel like you had to struggle to find your spot, or were you always respected from the beginning?
Psst, a quick reminder, along this podcast, we also have our own cosmetics brand, Nimya by Nikkie Tutorials, skincare and makeup products for beginners or pros.
And our brand is genderless, so it's for everybody.
We even often have bundles where you can get a lot of discounts. So what are you waiting for? Get your Nimya on. Go to nimya.com, NIMYA.com.
See you there.
As a female, I never had that many problems, to my opinion. Never got into a situation that I was uncomfortable with, except for one tour that we did in America, and that they said what was it called? The hottest chicks in metal.
And then they did like a list, or?
Well, there was like, we were going on tour and there was all these female fronted, of course, very different kind of music, but female fronted bands on a tour. And I was in the airplane and I was talking to another band. Did you hear about the name they gave this tour? I said, no.
It was the name of the tour.
Yeah, it was called
the
hottest chicks in metal. And that was, and I just, you know, I found it hilarious because I thought, you can't be serious. You're not serious, right?
Yeah,
I'm serious. They called it like that. Okay. And I said, well, that's pretty stupid. Which idiot behind the desk was thinking of that?
A man.
A man, of course.
A man,
and a man who wants to sell tickets. And what sex sells.
Yeah.
And of course they called it like that. But there was, you know, if you compare it, like there's never been a man called the hottest man of metal tour. No,
like
no, it's the coolest tour. You know, it's like what?
Yeah.
And the same thing with in the Dutch media. I remember that was for a TV magazine, and I did an interview. I think, well, I can't be sure which one it was, so I won't say the name of it. But they said metal mommy.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, what the F?
Yeah.
That's so downgrading, you know?
Yeah.
You call me for an interview, you ask me about you know, what I'm doing. You put me on the cover.
Yeah.
And I don't care that I'm a mom, but
Yeah.
you know,
But you're like putting me in, you're labeling me like this. It's not up to you. Yeah.
No, not to me as a personality, as part of the band. I'm proud of being a mom, don't get me wrong. But the fact that they do that, but they don't do it with any other man in the industry,
Yeah.
that pisses me off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not
And-
gonna have like a metal daddy, and then
No,
you're
they don't
gonna,
say
no,
from, you
yeah.
know,
So they make
and-
it special that you're a mom and in metal, which shouldn't be. And if you do it, it's up to you, but not up to them to
you know,
label it.
for instance, Steve Harris has a lot of kids. They don't say metal daddy,
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and who cares, you know?
Yeah.
Keep it private, keep it separate, you know, it doesn't matter. But the fact that they do it just with women, I think, and I think I did the interview even with a woman,
That's
a female
disappointing.
journalist, and I was
Yeah.
like, how can you do this? It's
Yeah.
just for you to, I don't know what what do you want to achieve with this? It's making,
Maybe it came from a perspective of like a boss lady, but then still it doesn't come off like that.
Then say, I don't know, give it a different name,
Yeah.
kick-ass lady or
Yeah.
something. I don't know, but not
Right.
like metal mommy. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and that's the, I think, the transition that we have been going through the last few years, and I think people do realize this more and more, that they can't do that anymore,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it says something more about them, how they see women.
You then,
No, see themselves as women, but also see other women, their wives, their mothers. I don't know, you know, so it's not to be taken serious, and I think that's downgrading.
yeah. When your kids are surrounded by so much music because you have a studio at home,
Yeah.
are they also gonna follow in your footsteps of you and Robert?
Well, you know, well, you know, I think I've always trusted that we all have this compass within ourselves that knows what you're good at, and whatever they want to do, I'm fine with.
She's like,
because-
and they're not good at singing.
Whatever they're gonna do, no.
no, you know, no, but I really believe that, because I think they are all in music. They
Yeah.
love
They
music.
are?
They
Yeah,
are.
they are. Yes. My
What
sons,
types of fields? Yeah, yeah.
Well, my sons both can play really well guitar. They have a really good sense of rhythm.
They have to, yeah. Not they have to, but I understand
Yeah,
that they are. Yeah.
they just love music, and they like to analyze it and like to play it. They play it on the streets, you know, trying to get a little bit of extra money.
Yeah. So cool.
But I must say they haven't done this the last year, but it's more like my oldest son, who is 14, he is still going to guitar lessons and trying to learn more and more and more and absorb, and asking me like, Mom, how do you sing this? And how do you, and he has a very low voice. So it's for him very difficult.
At 14?
Yeah, but he is like I have to say this in Dutch because I don't know how tall it is in feet, but he's 1 meter, almost 1 meter 90.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's only
6'2".
6'2",
Yeah.
He's only 14, and he has to turn 15, well, in 2 months now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's he's huge, but he's huge. He's like he's done. He doesn't have to. He's
Yeah.
He's finished.
It's fine. Yeah, it's finished. Yeah.
It's you know, it's a man already. He's not 14, and also not in his mind. You know, he always gets people always think he's way older, like 18 or 19, because
But-
he looks like it, but he also talks like it.
Do you
know?
think everyone can sing?
I do think people
Asking
can
for a friend.
asking for a friend, right? Yes, I do think, but there's a limit to how beautiful it will sound eventually. But it's still, you can sing, of course. Everybody can.
You can
sing.
hold a tune. maybe,
Yes,
yeah.
but you know, I think people who think I'm not that good at it, you know, I'm gonna sing, you know, on purpose, really.
Yeah.
Like my dad, he he knew he could sing to a certain degree, but he was really like, trying to annoy everybody by singing really as out of tune as possible.
Oh yeah, love it.
But he had a great sense of rhythm, though.
Rhythm,
He
really?
always wanted to be a drummer. But my daughter started singing now a little bit, and and she has a good voice, but don't tell anyone.
Why not tell anyone? Why?
No, but she's just, you know, it's just for fun, and it should stay fun, you know, because and whatever she chooses to do in the future, whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to put the pressure on them
No,
to.
and
but
my-
what if they come up to you and say, "Mom,
Yeah, what if they're like you?
I want to go in a band"?
Yeah.
You know, go for it. You know.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because music's so important for everyone.
But by the sounds of it, we can have a Within Temptation Junior already.
Yeah, are you gonna do a
Because you have
collab?
three-
Well, there are more
I hear
ba-
2 guitarists,
well,
a lead singer.
well, you have a lot of band members, and they all have kids, and they all are in into music, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of them are. But you know, it's like, you know, well, if it finds their way, you know, they will find their own way into it. And I, you know, if they do something else, as long as they're happy, I'm happy. You know, it's like.
But
that's the most important
I'm rooting for Within Temptation Junior.
thing. Tribute band.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. Well, I feel like if you would go back, you would have picked maybe an easier to write band name or a shorter band name or
way
not.
shorter. You know, I'm
Shorter.
jealous of you too.
Yeah. So Within Temptation Junior maybe is not the vibe, but yeah.
No. I would definitely take a different name. Yeah. But you know, on the other hand, it's such a strange name because it's also not correct English. Because you would say Into Temptation.
Into Temptation.
Yeah, instead of Within Temptation. But it sounded nice, you know. It's like, and we didn't care about it being perfectly English. But afterwards, I was like, my God.
Whatever. Yeah. Now it's a band name.
Now we're stuck to it, you know. Yeah. And it never fits on a bill, and it's always difficult to pronounce. I remember that we were at a TV show, and this TV presenter was like, Within Temptation. He's going through the hallway up and down, like trying to memorize the name, not to triple over it.
Yeah. No, and also bring it back to social media. Back then you had users name, but it was too much of a character, so that's why
it's too long.
Yeah, that's why it's WT official now. Most of the social media channels. Because Within Temptation was too long. Yeah. So that's
how it came about.
That's how
WT.
it became. Yeah, WT. Yeah, I love it. We've had so many great experiences also touring and.
But also when I think of you is remember when you came out. Your coming out was like, oh my God.
You came out with them?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh, I was so nervous. You
came out with them?
Yes. And maybe you recall better but I remember.
We were in Spain.
In Spain, in Madrid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, coming up for the band. I've already met Mike back then, and people around me knew, but not the band. And you know, it's always I wanted to keep professional life away from private life, which is. For me back then it made sense, but now it doesn't, you know, because it's such a big thing of my personality. But I was obviously ashamed of myself, didn't feel good enough. So I wanted to make sure that I did my work good enough and that people would not judge me on my character. But I know, coming out in Spain to you, and I feel like to you and Martijn, or maybe to you only. And then I told the boys later on.
You told me first, exactly. And then we sat down with the boys.
Yeah.
And
then they let you go.
No. No. On the contrary, the guys literally. I remember when I came out to the guys. It's like, guys, I want to tell you something, and then one of the guys jokingly said, "You're gay." I was like, and then I turned red, and then everybody's like, "Oh my God, cringe, awkward." But it was so funny because those were the types of jokes that you could make.
Yeah.
But it also was the perfect scene for me to, I had all these words in my head, and I was like. Yeah, that's basically it. So, and from
I like man.
Yes, exactly. No, but you were the kindest, and that's why I always talk so highly of you guys. Not only that, but you've always made me feel very welcome.
Yeah, he loves you guys.
Yeah,
that's vice versa, and we're very sorry to see you leave to go into the world and spread your wings and perceive your dreams.
And now we're back in the dark.
And back in the darkness, confessing everything towards each other.
No, but I feel but your first question. Your response was so fun, always.
The darkest hour.
One more thing we want to lay in front of you, my darling, in the dark.
In the dark.
Is the darkest hour. Ooh. And I know it's a little bit of a downer, but we ask you about your darkest hour in your life.
My darkest hour in my life.
And don't say this moment.
And don't say anything that has to do with me. No.
Or Wes.
Well, it takes you that goes. Well, you say that it's going to, of course, being a very serious topic again.
Yeah, that's why it's such a
such a high.
Oh God! I had several in my life, but to mention one, the breakup between me and Robert was one of the heaviest I had to go through.
I can imagine.
And it's already like 16 years ago. And I'm very open about it because I think people can learn from it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we also briefly already talked about it, like that we separated because we had our first kid, and with work and everything and being in each other's surroundings like 24/7, working with on a daily basis, it kills the romance, you know. Mm-hmm. We've been together since we were 19.
Wow.
And so
That's just 5 years ago.
I love you. 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oopsie.
Yeah. And 5 years of being married now also. That felt like being torn apart. And
Yeah, because your lives are so intertwined.
yeah, exactly. So
Professionally,
many highlights.
privately.
Yeah, but also my darkest secrets. He knows them. You know, we're one practically. Yeah, we're so connected.
But you say you want people to learn from that.
Yeah.
What made you get back together? How did you were able to do that?
I've fought for like a lion to my perception for this relationship, really to get back together no matter what the odds were. And I was really trying to let him see the opposite. And I felt like we deserved a chance as a family to stick together, and also for the years and the things that we had gone through. What I want people to learn from it is like that you need your separate lives within a relationship. You need to have your own set of friends. Don't have the same friends all the time, because when something does happen to the relationship, you need to have
Your own
backup.
life.
your own your own life and your own backup and your own friends that can help you, support you. And also when somebody dies, for instance, eventually, then you still need to have separate friends, because some people will have more with him and some people will have more with you.
The safety net.
Yeah, the safety net is so important, and and you learn from different people. And if when you have the same people saying the same thing to you, because they're all connected to both of you,
Right.
it's not helping. You know, it helps when somebody who is standing outside of the circle
Outside
of friends,
perspective, yeah.
and who can give a fresh look on things, a new look on things. And I'm always trying to tell my friends, please have friends aside from him and his friends. You know, be sure that you have your own friends, your own people to go to when something does go wrong, that you can get your backup there. And we did. And the thing was that I got support from the strangest
People.
that I didn't expect it from, and they became my best friends eventually.
Really?
Yeah.
So you
because-
found within that situation, you found your own my own bubble of people.
Friends, and also that and people that I was actually expecting support from didn't turn out
Left
to be
you
that.
cold.
Yeah, they said, I'm not going to mingle in this. I'll talk to you within a few months. But then
Because they felt attached to both of you, or more to Robert, or
exactly. And I felt betrayed a bit, because I felt like, okay, you still can be a support even though you love us both, you know. And that was something. It was a reality check. Okay, this was really a moment in time that I felt I could see who my real friends were,
Right.
and they came from a different corner than I thought.
And they stay with you for a long time.
Yeah, because I'm very personally, I think I'm a very loyal person. When I let somebody in my life, I never let them go. You know, I've let you go, but there's always a string.
No,
attached,
but we always,
we always
stay in contact. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I hope to do with everyone and people that matter to me. Although you see maybe a person not in 2 years, it doesn't matter. When you see each other again, it's like old times.
Yeah,
and that's for me a reassurance that the relationship is true, it's real, it's what I need and what I hope for. And we came back together, and we have 2 more kids, and we are.
Still thriving.
Yeah, and we learned so much from that period, also about ourselves, and we evolved. And I think, when you get into a relationship as young, as teenagers, because we were teenagers when we got together, you grow, of course, and sometimes you grow apart. But there's also a way back again, to my opinion, always. But you need to be open for that. And then it was really the darkest place I've ever been, because I had to put up with a lot of shit. But eventually we both got stronger, and together we got stronger. And we have our own set of friends, and also a group together, but also separately from each other. And the best thing within a relationship is to give everybody as much space as they need. You want to go play tennis, you want to go away for a few days, be my guest, go.
Yeah.
Right.
I trust you. It's like, that's it.
And that is true love, y'all.
Yeah.
That is true love.
Sharon, I wanted to ask you a final question. How long will you be seeing yourself performing around the world together with your band?
Are you asking when she's gonna retire?
I'm just curious about, Sharon, if you see yourself performing until the end of days, or what that future looks like for you.
Well, I really don't know yet. I've really mixed emotions about this, because music is my biggest passion. It will always be till the day I die, and I will always make music. Maybe not on stage, but I will always write music. And if there's people that want to, listen to it, then that's my well, that's my fortune. Then I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
But first of all, I make music for myself, and if there's an audience, you know, I would love to have that audience until the end of days. Performing, I don't know yet. Depends also physically and what happens in your family, how much I'm needed there, because family is everything to me. That's always trying to find a new balance in a new situation. So that's something for the future, and that will change every time because kids are growing up and they have more, you know, they're becoming more independent.
And then they want to collab.
Your most recent album, Bleed Out, is still out.
Your most recent album, Bleed Out, still bleeding out.
Yeah, it's still bleeding out. And you're touring by the end of this year throughout Europe.
Yes, we are.
So we'll put a link down in the
Great.
show notes.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is going to be brutal. We're going to turn the lights
Oh
on.
yeah. we're
Oh
gonna
my God,
turn
I'm
on
gonna
the
close
lights.
my eyes to protect myself.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I'm just
Okay,
warning you.
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
We just have to say the.
Oh yes, we're saying goodbye. Thank you everyone so much for listening to the Lightless Lounge of this week. If you enjoyed, please don't forget to give us a big, great 5-star review. And follow us everywhere you can. Don't forget about our great giveaway.
Yes, and we have also we read every comment, so everything you love,
Every single
comment. So be nice to us, please.
Spread the love.
Yes. And thank you so much, Sharon, for coming.
Yeah.
You're most
And,
welcome. Thank you for having me in the dark.
Yeah.
Where I'm at best.
Yeah, like that. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
I'll
God.
turn on the lights. Here we go.
Oh,
Oh my God! And it's just one, and it's really bad.
and it's really bright.
Oh my God! Oh my! I can't. Oh, who turned the light on? The big
Mike.
one. Mike, turn it